The neon glow of Maggie's diner flickered against the cold evening air, casting long shadows across the near-empty parking lot. Inside, the scent of sizzling burgers and fresh coffee mingled with the low hum of idle chatter. It was the kind of place where truckers, travelers, and townsfolk gathered, a slice of old America, unpretentious and familiar. Tonight, however, something was different. An elderly man in a worn-out army jacket shuffled through the entrance, his hands trembling slightly from the chill. His name was Henry Lawson, a Vietnam War veteran who had seen more battles than he cared to remember. His weathered face bore the weight of years, his eyes clouded with memories both haunting and sacred. He took a seat by the counter, nodding politely at the waitress, a young woman with strawberry blonde hair named Lisa. She smiled as she approached. "What can I get you, sir?" she asked, pulling out her notepad. Henry hesitated. He had just enough for a simple meal, a bowl of soup, maybe some bread. "I'll just have the special," he said, reaching into his pocket for a few crumpled bills. Before Lisa could jot it down, a voice cut through the air. "We don't serve people like him here." The words belonged to Jeff Harrison, the diner's owner, a man known for his blunt nature. His eyes were cold, his stance unwavering. Lisa froze, her pen hovering over the notepad. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," Jeff snapped. "These vets come in here looking for handouts, making the place look bad. I won't have it." The diner fell silent. Forks scraped against plates. Eyes darted away, some filled with pity, others with silent agreement. Henry swallowed hard, his dignity keeping him from pleading. He had faced worse. Disrespect was nothing new. But that didn't make it sting any less. He nodded stiffly, gripping the edge of the counter as he prepared to stand. Before he could rise, the sound of heavy boots echoed from the entrance. A man stepped forward, his presence commanding the room. Clint Eastwood. The Hollywood legend had been driving through town on his way to a quiet retreat when he decided to stop for a meal. Now he stood at the doorway, his sharp eyes scanning the scene. "What's going on here?" Clint asked, his voice calm but firm. Jeff folded his arms. "Just a policy of mine. I don't serve freeloaders." Clint's jaw tightened. He turned to Henry, taking in the medals pinned to his jacket, the quiet resilience in his posture. Without a word, he strode past the counter, pulled out a chair beside Henry, and sat down. "I'll take what he's having," Clint said, then looked at Henry. "And whatever else you want." Henry blinked, unsure whether to accept the kindness. "Sir, "No need to thank me," Clint interrupted, leaning forward. "But you do need to eat." Lisa, flustered but relieved, quickly turned to the kitchen. Jeff opened his mouth to argue, but Clint's gaze silenced him. As the meal arrived, Clint began to speak, not about movies, not about fame, but about respect. "This man put his life on the line for people like us," he said, his voice carrying weight. "The least we can do is offer him a warm meal." The other patrons began to murmur, shame creeping into their expressions. A trucker at the corner dug into his pocket and placed a $20 bill on the counter. "His meal's on me." A woman followed suit. "Mine too." One by one, they contributed not just money, but an unspoken apology. Jeff, flustered and outnumbered, muttered something under his breath and retreated to the back. Lisa placed Henry's meal in front of him, her eyes misty. Henry looked around, swallowing the lump in his throat. He had come in expecting rejection, but now he was surrounded by gratitude. As he picked up his spoon, he turned to Clint. "I don't know how to thank you." Clint smirked, his eyes twinkling. "You already did, soldier." The diner buzzed back to life, but something had changed. A lesson had been learned, a wrong made right. and as Henry took his first bite, the warmth of the food was nothing compared to the warmth in his heart.